Doing an oil change on a mid-engine car is much more difficult than doing it on a conventional front-engine car. Or at least that's what people on the streets keep telling you if you tell them that you're interested in a mid-engine car. Well, behind me is a mid-engine Porsche, and today I want to find out if that's true or not. Stay tuned. This is my 1998 Porsche Boxster. She has a 2.5 litre naturally aspirated flat 6 engine, and she has over 225,000 kilometers on the clock now. The only problem is that I've got no idea when the last time is that she had a proper oil change. So to keep her singing along all the way past 300,000 kilometers, we're going to fill her up with some Liqui Moly. Now this tiny little 2.5 litre naturally aspirated flat 6 drinks a whopping 8.5 to 9 litres of engine oil, instantly making this the most expensive oil change I've done to date. So all we have to do for this job is to get the car up in the air, drain the old oil and take out the old oil filter, replace the Sump Plug washer and fill her up with brand new engine oil. What could possibly go wrong?
I don't know why.
To perform this service, you simply need to buy oil and an oil filter. For the engine oil, I went with Liqui Moly 5W40 litres engine oil, which is recommended by 986 enthusiasts. And for the oil filter, well, this is simply a basic oil filter and the parts number will be flashed on screen. I didn't get an aluminium crush washer with my oil filter, so be sure to check, and if you didn't get one, be sure to ask for one. Okay, so the car is in the air and that actually worked out great. So now I just need to slide underneath, and this is going to be quite difficult. So obviously the engine, the sump plug is right around here, so quite far forward. So I'm going to try and go through the back. This looks like more than enough space, which is good. That worked. I was very concerned because I'll probably have to get a new drain plug. I'm probably just an idiot, but it doesn't look like a hex screw. It actually looks like a torque screw. I took a risk and I gave it a try with an 8mm hex. I didn't even have a hex bit that fit. I just had this Allen key. And if I stripped that, I could have made a massive challenge for myself. But yeah, today I'll just need to drain the oil because I also don't have a crush washer, because once again, they never give you a freaking crush washer when you buy an oil filter, and I forgot to ask for one. I think it should be about 8.5 litres of oil, which is quite a lot. So yeah, let's see.
I'm gonna splash on me here.
Good to go. I don't know why. Oh, it's the freaking drain plug. Oh, damn it. I think the drain plug blocked it. Well, that went great. Oh, my word. That's going to be a lovely cleanup. That was a massive balls up. But I guess all we can do is continue. There's no space to work here.
One eternity later.
Surely. The whole filter is still on here. What a mess, but I got it out eventually. So here's the oil filter. And the oil looks very good. I don't know exactly when last it was changed. But yeah, still glad I did this just to get some peace of mind. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to get maybe a new sump plug with a crush washer. And then I can clean up here and get the oil back in. All right, so it's the next day. I drained the oil. I made a terrible mess of it, but it's drained. I also had to get myself a new oil drain plug. Turns out I probably didn't need one, but I needed a crush washer and also a T50 Torx tool for the drain plug. All right, so I just want to show you, for those wondering, how I screwed up draining the oil so badly. So as you see here, here's my oil drain pan, and you can rewind, you can go back. This was definitely removed, and the venting screw was removed as well. So the setup was like this. So then what happened is, it's a lot of oil. It's about 8.5, 9 liters of oil, and it fell exactly right on top of the drain plug. So it didn't actually drain into the hole at all until I removed the plug, and then everything started to calm down a bit. But yes, that was probably my worst oil change I've ever done, and I've had a few bad ones. All right, so here's the old drain plug, and it actually doesn't look too bad, but I thought that it might be a bit stripped. Now, in all the videos that I watched, I promise you none of them had a Torx. So this is a T50 screw. Everyone used 8mm hex bolts. But as you can see, surely this is clearly a Torx screw. So I actually bought this at Porsche Linwood, and it cost me a whopping 224 Rand, which is just crazy. Literally just for the drain plug and a new crush washer. Now I know that is an astronomical amount of money, but I couldn't afford to strip this thing, and then I had much more than 200 and something Rands worth of issues. So rather safe than sorry, but it was probably a bit of a waste. Oh, by the way, also I bought this torque bit because I didn't have one, a T50 specifically, and it also came with a socket attachment, which is great. So now I can attach it to the torque wrench, and this needs to be torqued at 50 Newton meters, which is just crazy. But hey, at least we've got a brand new sump plug, and if that's what Porsche recommends, well, who am I to judge? So here's the new oil filter, and I cleaned this out, but honestly, you don't want to have any water in here. So I dried it properly and let it sit for a few hours, but it's literally better to do nothing than to risk having water in it. So that fits nicely. And then I'm just going to half fill it with this liquid gold. If you see the price of this, you'll understand what I mean. And I probably should have taken the rubber seal off first. So in here, this man filter, they do give you another rubber seal, but they didn't give me a crush washer, which is why I needed a new one. Okay, simple as that. Then you just want to clean it one last time. Yo, crazy. This oil filter absorbed like all of the oil that I put in. That's insane. So now I just want to take some of the new oil. I'm just going to use this. I might need a bit more. That's good enough, just so it doesn't go on dry.
That's what she said.
It's vital that it goes in the right groove. So it's not that one at the top. It's in the correct one there. So the oil filter screws back on top there. So the oil filter needs to torque to 25 Newton meters. I don't have the right tool, so I'll do it by hand, and then I might do it a bit more. There is a chance you can do it by hand, and you'll actually feel when it cannot go anymore. And that is it. I'm pretty sure that is 100% torqued. There's no lip at the top. As you can see, there's no way you can even turn this to go any further. So I'm just going to leave it exactly like that. So it's screwed on real nicely. So this I need to set to 50 freaking Newton meters. $15 Newton meters is a lot, guys. So just our checks. This is torqued, and the oil drain plug is also torqued to spec. So yeah, now we can add the oil back in. So one of the most important things when it comes to draining oil on a Porsche Boxster is you want to inspect the oil filter.
The filter can reveal problems long before they become expensive noises. Metal shavings could indicate IMS bearing wear, plastic bits can come from timing chain guides, and larger flakes may point to internal engine damage or bore stall.
And as you can see, this engine still looks extremely healthy.
Fortunately, our filter is completely clean. No glitter, no plastic, no signs that this flat 6 is planning an early retirement.
Our dual row IMS bearings should still be fine, and also that we don't have any other internal engine damage.
A great success!
Okay, and this is liquid gold, Liqui Moly. This stuff is hella expensive, but rather safe than sorry. Should I use a funnel? I think we should be fine. Okay, so as you can see, we're at the minimum, but because the car is angled, I don't want to add too much. So I would feel safe to start the car with the oil level as it is. I'm actually hoping that it's not too much once I get the car level. Okay, right now on here it says the oil level is full. I'm hoping once we drive a bit and get level. Okay, well, she's alive and sounding good. The oil level inside still says she's completely full. I'll go for a drive and hopefully it's not chock and block full anymore. So yeah. Feels pretty good. I'm not gonna push her, obviously, not yet on temperature, but yeah, feeling pretty good.
Alright, so the old girl is running properly again. I did check the oil level and she is right below the maximum mark and she is running great. I don't think the oil was too old, but I'm very glad that we did that. Obviously, that is not a full service. We only changed the oil and the oil filter. So in one of the next episodes on this car, we have to finally access the engine bay itself, which in this car is quite interesting. And then we'll replace the air filter and some other bits and pieces. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Garage Gambles, and peace out. I'll see you in the next one.